Welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne, and I noticed the other day that someone had specifically commented about wanting to see my most anticipated books of 2021. I never made that video, so I'm sorry, person who was excited for that. I'm late, so now I'm going to be showing you all the books that I have pre-ordered for the rest of the year. I do enjoy people's most anticipated releases of the new year, but I feel like showing you what I've actually pre-ordered is even better because, I mean, my credit card is attached to these purchases. I'm not just mentioning things that sound exciting, I'm telling you all the ones that I am purchasing. When I decided to make this video, I knew I would do it in date order, so the first book on the list would have been 400 Souls, but by the time I'm filming, he's already arrived. 400 Souls by Ibram X. Kendi, well, edited by him. It's actually written by 90 different authors discussing the African America experience from 1619 to 2019. So glad that's here. This is gonna be my big nonfiction to read in February. Very excited for that. Now for books that haven't released yet, I'm gonna be looking off screen a lot and reading you stuff, so I'm sorry if that is so boring. So first I'm going to talk about The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, which comes out on March 2nd. This one is set in 18th century London. A secret apothecary shop caters to an unusual kind of clientele. Women across the city whisper of a mysterious figure named Nella who sells well-disguised poisons to use against the oppressive men in their lives. But the apothecary's fate is jeopardized when her newest patron, a precocious 12-year-old, makes a fatal mistake, sparking a string of consequences that echo through the centuries. And then it also flips to a present-day timeline. So what I love about this, there's someone creating poisons just to kill men. And then I love 18th century London. I love potion and like magic, herb, food, poison. I love that. Wait, I just realized it's not a fantasy at all. So I was picturing an apothecary being like full of magic potions, but that's not it at all. Do I even want this book still? Yeah, maybe. Okay, I still like poison. Okay, it's fine. Let's move along. Okay, next is The Conductors by Nicole Glover. And this one says in the title, a murder and magic novel. So, okay, definitely magic this time. A compelling debut in fantasy fiction featuring magic and mystery of Jim Butcher's Dresden Files, written with the sensibility and historical setting of Octavia Butler's Kindred. Meet Hetty Rhodes, a magic user and former conductor on the Underground Railroad, who now solves crimes in post-Civil War Philadelphia. Like, how could I not pre-order that? I guess they find one of their friends slain in an alley, so her and her husband bury the body and set off to find answers. But the secrets and intricate lies of the elites of Black Philadelphia only serve to dredge up more questions. To solve this mystery, they will have to face ugly truths all around them, including the ones about each other. Cool. Then on March 23rd will be Every Value Break by Peter Swanson, who is he my absolute favorite? He's my top 5 favorite at least. I love him, and I prefer not to know too much about thrillers, so just a quick tidbit. A bride's dream honeymoon becomes a nightmare when a man with whom she's had a regrettable one-night stand shows up in this electrifying psychological thriller from the acclaimed author of 8 Perfect Murders. So a guy she had a one-night stand with comes to ruin her honeymoon. In the hands of Peter Swanson, that sounds like a great time. May 4th. The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. This one I originally pre-ordered because I know there was some talk on Twitter about how Joan He wasn't getting the royalties from her books and her agent wasn't paying her, and they were like, hey, support her by pre-ordering her book. So I looked it up, it sounded great, and I wanted to support her because it was crazy that her agent wasn't paying her for The Descendant of the Crane. So I looked this up and it actually sounds great. Dee awoke on an abandoned island 3 years ago. With no idea how she was marooned, she only has a rickety house, an old android, and a single memory. She has a sister and C needs to find her. Okay, so one, I love people being stranded on islands. Lost, Survivor, those are my favorite things of all time. And she's been on an island for 3 years, but it also must be futuristic because there's an android. Okay, the rest of it. STEM prodigy Casey once escaped from the science and home she once trusted. The metropolis, Earth's last unpolluted place, is meant to be sanctuary for those committed to planetary protection, but it's populated by people willing to do anything for refuge, even lie. Now she'll have to decide if she's ready to use science to help humanity, even though it failed the people who mattered most. So, like, obviously they're sisters, but that sounds like fun. Okay, April 20th, Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. Araya has spent her life in a cell, but every day brings her closer to freedom and vengeance. Jasmine is the queen's daughter, but unlike her sister before her, she has no intention of dying to strengthen her mother's power. Sworn enemies, these two witches enter a precarious alliance to take down a mutual threat. But power is intoxicating, revenge is a bloody pursuit, and nothing is certain, except the lengths they will go to win this game. I love revenge, so can't wait. May 11th, Son of the Storm by Suyu Davies Akungboa. I'm so sorry. In the thriving city of Bassa, Danzo is a clever but disillusioned scholar who longs for a life beyond rigid family and political obligations expected of the city's elite. A way out presents itself when Li Long, a skin-changing warrior, shows up wounded in his barn. He comes from the Nameless Lands, which according to Bassa lore don't exist, and neither should the mythical magic of Ybor she wields. Now swept into a conspiracy far beyond his understanding, Danzo and Li Long will set out on a journey that reveals histories violently suppressed and magic only found in lore. I love hidden magic or abolished magic that comes back. June 1st, the book that I have had pre-ordered for the longest, but also the book that I'm most terrified of not liking. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, author of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six and One True Loves and a bunch of other great stuff. Malibu, August 1983. It's the day of Nina Riva's annual end of summer party. Love that already. And anticipation is at a fever pitch. Everyone wants to be around the famous Rivas. Nina, the talented surfer and supermodel, brothers Jay and Hud, one a champion surfer, the other a renowned photographer. Wait, are surfers really that famous? And their adored baby sister, Kit. Together, the siblings are a source of fascination in Malibu and the world over, especially as the offspring of the legendary singer Mick Riva. Is he from Seven Husbands? I can't remember. The only person not looking forward to the party of the year is Nina herself, who never wanted to be the center of attention, and who has also just been publicly abandoned by her pro tennis player husband. Oh, and maybe Hud, because it is long past time for him to confess something to the brother from who... Okay, my camera died in the middle of my dramatic reading, so... You get the point. Malibu Rising sounds great because it's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I honestly don't think the synopsis would sell me if I did not know the author. Also on June 1st, The Library of the Dead by T.L. Huchu, which it has the word library in the title, so obviously I'm gonna buy it. Ropa dropped out of school to become a ghost talker, and they sure do love to talk. Now she speaks to Edinburgh's dead, carrying messages to those they left behind. A girl's gotta earn a living, and it seems harmless enough. Until that is, the dead whisper that someone's bewitching children, leaving them husks, empty of joy and strength. It's on Ropa's patch, so she feels honor-bound to investigate. But what she learns will rock her world. Ropa will dice with death as she calls on Zimbabwean magic and Scottish pragmatism to hunt down clues. And although underground Edinburgh hides a wealth of dark secrets, she also discovers an occult library, a magical mentor, and some unexpected allies. Yet, as shadows lengthen, will the hunter become the hunted? I am really enjoying reading out loud. This is really fun for some reason. June 15th, Blood Like Magic by Lysel Sambury. After years of waiting for her calling, a trial every witch must pass in order to come into their powers, the one thing Voya Thomas didn't expect was to fail. When Voya's ancestor gives her an unprecedented second chance to complete her calling, she agrees, and then is horrified when her task is to kill her first love. And this time, failure means every Thomas witch will be stripped of their magic. Voya is determined to save her family's magic no matter the cost. The problem is Voya's never been in love, so for her to succeed, she'll have to find the perfect guy, and fast. Fortunately, a genetic matchmaking program has just hit the market. Her plan is to join the program, fall in love, and complete her task before the deadline. What she doesn't count on is being paired with the infuriating Luke. How can she fall in love with a guy who seemingly wants nothing to do with her? With mounting pressure from her family, Voya is caught between her morality and her duty to her bloodline. If she wants to save their heritage and Luke, she'll have to find something her ancestor wants more than blood. And in witchcraft, blood is everything. What? So this is witches, and genetic matchmaking is kind of sci-fi, and then her with an infuriating Luke sounds very rom-com. I don't even know what vibe I'm getting from this, but it sounds like fun. And it turns out June is a very busy month because June 29th, This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. Breezy's has a gift. She can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms with a single touch. Ugh. I love magic plants. When Breezy's aunt dies and wills her a dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents decide to leave Brooklyn behind for the summer. Hopefully there, surrounded by plants and flowers, Bree will finally learn to control her gift. Sounds like a perfect setting. But their new home is sinister in ways they could never have imagined. It comes with a specific set of instructions, an old school apothecary. Can you tell apothecary is a trigger word for me? Or a buzzword? I love apothecaries. And a walled garden filled with the deadliest botanicals in the world that can only be entered by those who share Bree's unique family lineage. When strangers begin to arrive on their doorstep asking for tinctures and elixirs, Bree learns she has a surprising talent for creating them. Oh, making potions! One of the visitors is Marie, a mysterious young woman who Bree befriends, only to find that Marie is keeping dark secrets about the history of the estate and its surrounding community. There is more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it, until a nefarious group comes after her in search of a rare and dangerous immortality elixir. Up against the centuries-old curse and the deadliest plant on Earth, Bree must harness her gift to protect herself and her family. Ooh, ooh, love it. I wonder if anyone is still watching this video. I think I'll end up doing a pre-orders video for the second half of the year because I noticed all of my books, the next one I'm going to do comes out July 27th, so obviously I'm just unaware of August onward. Final book I'm going to talk about is Not a Happy Family by Sherry Lapina, my other top 5 thriller authors. Do you want to know who the other ones are? Me too. So since this is a thriller, I'm going to keep it brief because I don't want to spoil myself. Although I'll probably forget by July 27th, right? In this family, everyone is keeping secrets, especially the dead. Brecken Hill in upstate New York is an expensive place to live. You have to be rich to have a house there. And they don't come much richer than Fred and Sheila Mercer. But even all their money can't protect them when a killer comes to call. The Mercers are brutally murdered the night after an Easter dinner with their 3 adult kids, who of course are devastated. Oh wait, the parents are killed, not the kids. Who of course are devastated. Or are they? They each stand to inherit millions. They were never a happy family thanks to their capricious father and neglectful mother, but perhaps one of them is more disturbed than anyone knew. Did one of them snap after that dreadful evening? Or was it someone else that night who crept in with the worst of intentions? It must be. After all, if one of your siblings was a psychopath, you'd know, wouldn't you? And that's it, folks. I'm gonna work hard on my current TBR so I'll be ready when those new books come in, and I plan on reading them all as soon as they release. Let me know which book I'm missing that I should definitely have pre-ordered that maybe I'm not aware of, and thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.